Mike Ladd mentioned after the game Sunday that he's been handling point guard a little bit more and bringing the ball to the floor a little more. How do you see that going forward, and what have you seen from him handling that?
I think he's doing a decent job, and I foresee it continuing to happen where that position is just shared. When I say that position, the guy that brings the ball up court and the person that initiates the offense being shared by a few different guys, of which Mike would be one of them and Royce one of them for sure.
Did you anticipate him doing it this early on, and was that part of the plan from the get-go?
Mike Ladd?
Yeah.
Well, we understood that he was one of our better ball handlers, and we gave Royce an opportunity for a few games. We've given Mike a few opportunities for a few games, and now we've kind of seen both of them in action, taking that position. And what we're still doing is we have about 3 weeks left before we start conference play. We're still, just playing around with different ideas and seeing what our best, whether it's rotations, best starters, guys to bring off the bench first, or who handles the ball and brings the ball up court best. We're still taking a good look at those things.
Is there anything else in particular that, I guess, I don't know, still a mystery, or that you're still trying to figure out that you'd like to see over these next few games?
Yeah, trying to figure out what DJ Shelton's role is really going to be and where he can be most efficient. That's probably the biggest question mark in my mind going into the next few games.
You mean offensively?
Yeah, mostly offensively. Even defensively. Just some things defensively too. Mm-hmm. But mostly offensively, what his exact role is going to be moving forward.
Is that maybe figuring out the difference between, is he going to spend more time on the perimeter or versus down low?
Down low, or should he be on the perimeter? Should be in the middle? When other teams are zoning us, should be on the baseline, or should he be at the high post? When we're running certain offenses, should he be on the perimeter, or should he be at the free throw line like usually Brock is? But now that Brock's hitting some threes, there's advantages to have him on the perimeter. So just trying to figure out exactly where to piece DJ Shelton into the mix.
Speaking of Brock, I mean, is he added anything to his game offensively? Is he any different this year that you've noticed, or is this just the same old Brock we saw all of last year?
To me, it's the same Brock. I think he's a tad more aggressive to score, but other than that, he's doing the same things he did last year. Yeah, and I think he's a better all-around player. And when I say that, I'm talking about the offensive end. I think he's doing much better defensively than he was last year. Much better.
In what ways?
Denying the ball at the post, having a little better presence when they do catch the ball down low. So basically post defense.
How do you think, I know he didn't play real well, but how do you think Devontae came out of last week, health-wise, and
good
back from that?
Yeah, he came out good. In fact, I just talked to Nick Galato here an hour ago or so, and he said everything looks good with Devontae.
And still kind of the same timetable with Will?
Yeah, Will's probably looking at least another week to 2 weeks. We get hurt a week ago tomorrow night. So yeah, he's probably got a week to 2 weeks. So the Seattle game's a question mark. For sure he's out this next game against Jackson State.
Just one more. How much do you anticipate practicing between the Jackson State game and the Seattle game? Are you going to take a little bit of time off there, or is it just going to be pretty much the same?
We'll take 1 day off, other than that, it's a great opportunity to get better. So I know at Portland State, a couple of years, we went to 3-hour practices for 6 days a week. And at the time, it was a grind. It was not like what anybody really wanted, to be in the gym 3 hours in December. But boy, looking back on it near the end of the season, and at the end of the season, a number of us coaches comment on what a huge step we took forward during that time period.
I think that kind of gap, 8 days off, is that especially important for a team like yours, like you said, where you're trying to figure some things out?
I think it's good and bad. I would prefer to have a game in there. I'd rather have 2 to 3 days off and then a game all year long. That'd be my preference. But sometimes you just can't help that when you're trying to do your schedule and trying to work around different things. So.
All right, questions from the phone. Just a reminder, if you could please say your name and who you represent before you ask your question.
Yeah, it's Tom Hager here with the Daily News. I just wanted to ask Coach, I remember after the Gonzaga game, you had mentioned that you were surprised that Devontae had played 28 minutes in that game, and then I think in the last game he had 28 minutes as well. Are we going to see consistently kind of around 30 minutes going forward?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you want to have on the floor. I think he's healthy now, so I would say anywhere from 26 to 32 minutes a game is what we can expect out of Devontae from here on out.
And then just one more question for me. I know we were just talking about scheduling a minute ago, and I know that you were saying for the Fresno State game that Sunday afternoon was kind of the only time that you guys were able to work that out. I was just wondering if you, like, I know in football sometimes like coaches will call each other and schedule it between themselves, but does the Pac-12 network at all tell you guys, like, hey, we need you to play on Sunday afternoon, or how does that work with the new television deal?
It's the same as football. They dictate the times, but in this situation, as I recall, we had a choice. We could either play it at around 5 o'clock, I believe it was, or play it at noon. And Fresno State, when we did the schedule and picked the date, they really, really wanted to play the game as early as possible so they could get back to Spokane and catch a flight out and get back that night. So when we found out for the Pac-12 that we could play it at noon, we elected to do that.